when I started playing RuneQuest, it opened a new door into Glorantha and just my whole imagination and fantasy. I'd spent all my life in fantasy and decades already in working on Glorantha, but what was way cool about this was that it was with other people. And a collective fantasy like this was something that I would always imagined, but had no idea how to do until I saw RuneQuest. So it doubled my satisfaction. It tripled my entertainment. It quadrupled my participation in Glorantha in a way that I just never imagined. You got to remember that this is back when there were no role-playing games on the market except D&D, and RuneQuest was so far superior to that that it was. I never played D&D, so it really opened things up for me. Yes, absolutely. I told them what I wanted to see in Glorantha, and what I did not want to see in from D&D. They already had some ideas. Steve Warren and Steve Perrin. Steve Warren and Steve were all charter members of the Society for Creative Anachronisms, and they were concentrating mainly on the combat system. So all of the stuff that was in the magic system was based on my preconceptions, my demands for the game. All of the cult stuff, all of the that kind of things were based on it. In general, anything that you see in the original edition that's from generic fantasy is from them, and I more or less allowed it rather than demanded it to be in there. But it was a group effort, everybody contributing what they did best. Absolutely. The success of RuneQuest was an astonishment to me. It really did well. In those days of earliest role playing, it was a rocket with Afterburner just screaming through the sky. We doubled our sales every year, and we could not keep anything in print. It really, really surprised me. What really surprised me was that people loved Glorantha so much. I was under the impression in those days that people would take the system and apply it to their own fantasy world, which of course didn't happen. They didn't have their own fantasy world, so that was gratifying as well. Well, one of my favorite games was when we had a very, very intense adventure. We had all the usual players, Charlie Crank and Albert Dewey, and all the hardcore beginning players. And we had our old group with Landra and Errol Flynn and all of these old characters. And it was a blast. And during the this melee, everybody who was playing knocked over their drink at one time or another. The table, the floor was just awash in Coca-Cola and in beer, and everybody was just so intense on the game. I mean, it was, one of the characters got eaten by a T-Rex, and everybody was just so intense on it. And then the next day, excuse me, the next week when we met again, I said, you know what, you guys, we're going to play this, and everybody put your drinks off to the side. And they said, why? What's up? I said, because you all knocked them over last week when we were playing. And they all said, every one of them said, no, we didn't. And of course, I had cleaned it up after they left, so I knew darn well that they had. But it was just, to me, that just really encapsulates why the role playing is so fantastic. So much of a participation in another world, in another part of our souls, that people forget about the real world, forget about the physical world while we play, and that happened over and over again. And it's really, I think, the greatest thing that role playing can do for us.
This is Anathame. Anathame is a character that I've used in various scenarios and short stories over the past 25 years. And when we came to look at the character that we would use as the example in RuneQuest 6, we were pretty sure that we were going to use the woman that appears on the cover of the rulebook. We obviously knew we were going to homage the original RuneQuest 2 cover, and it made sense not to have Rurik the Restless, but to have the woman that appears on the front of the rules. And So this is how Anathema came to be. We knew that we were going to use a vaguely classical or mythical Greece kind of setting for her. Didn't have a name at that point, and we started to develop her. And it just seemed to make sense to me to use this female character, who was always a very strong, very proud person, as the basis for the woman that appears on the front of the book. And so that's how Anathema came to be. And it's incredible that she's really taken on a life of her own. People have really taken her to their hearts, and it's very gratifying for me to see a character that I've created kind of gain this popularity and backstory. She developed by leaps and bounds without any kind of planning. We've given her a sister, we gave her a father, we gave her a couple of arch enemies, we gave her a mentor with Masters and Mothis, and I've even built a scenario around her that appears in the RuneQuest Games Masters pack. I think you'll probably see more of Anathema, and I think that the sketch here that Lee Smith, brilliant Australian artist, has done really captures the mood. This is the concept sketch for the artwork that will grace the rear of the RuneQuest hardcover. This will be full colour, and I think that Lee's done a brilliant job capturing the spirit, recreating Pascal Quidol's original, and just the attention to detail is phenomenal. So this concept sketch really caught my eye. I said, yes, that's the pose that we want, that's how we want to develop it, and this is where Lee has currently got to. So he's beginning to add the detail, he's beginning to really bring that concept sketch to life, and I can't wait to see what this looks like in full colour. I think it's going to be a brilliant illustration. I think Anathema is going to be brought even more to life, and I'm really looking forward to seeing her take shape, and I hope to share some more sketches with you before the Indiegogo campaign has run its course. And just a few more words on the campaign and where we're up to. Stretch goals. We have hit the ribbon bookmark. That will be in there. The rear cover art we've just been discussing. Interior arts, we're going to replace 10 pieces. Lee Smith, the artist that's doing Anathema, is also going to do 10 fresh pieces, which reimagining some of the drawings that are already in the interior. Some of the pictures just didn't quite come up to the standard that we were looking for, so here's an opportunity to improve on them and give a consistent quality look and feel to the interior of the RuneQuest rules. We will also provide the book with a leather cover and gold foil lettering, and we've also made the slipcase gold. You guys are going to get a fantastic looking product. You're going to get something that will look wonderful on your bookshelves, something that will last for years and years, and something that we as Design Mechanism will be very, very proud to ensure that you get. We're not going to do any more stretch goals now. The Indiegogo campaign can run its course, and we would like to thank you for all your support, all your suggestions, all your kind words, and of course all your contributions for backing this project. Thank you very much indeed.